Okay, so we're going to start lying down with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. So just making yourself nice and comfortable as you do so. And if it's more comfortable for you to have the knees resting against each other and the feet slightly separate, but hip width apart, toes slightly turned in, that pyramid shape, okay? And then just make that shape with the lower part of the body. And just begin to allow the back of the body to relax. So you might be feeling a particular part of the body immediately as you come to lying down. So just see if you can relax the part of the body that you're feeling that sensation in. Relax the shoulders, the belly, and the jaw. And you can rest the arms down by the side of the body, have the palms face up. And I want you to focus on your breath. So without changing your breath in any way, just notice your soft, smooth inhale and your soft, smooth exhale. Just be aware of which parts of the body are involved in your breathing right now. And then I want you to notice if you can feel any connection with your breath and the spine. So without making any changes, any movements, just see if you can notice the connection with the inhale and any movement with the spine, the back body, the pelvis. So don't worry if you can't, okay, this is quite subtle work and we'll start to introduce a more exaggerated sensation to this. So when you breathe in, we're going to see if we can send the breath all the way down into the belly and feel the belly expand. So draw your breath all the way down as far as you can into the lower lungs, feeling the belly expand on the inhale and reduce on the exhale. So just track into that breath being sent all the way down, as far down into the abdominal space as is available to you. And then I want you to draw the breath a little bit further up the body. So as you breathe in, you're going to fill the abdominal space. But then see if you can continue that inhale to draw up the body to the midsection of the lungs and the ribs. And then as you exhale, relax the belly and feel the ribs reduce. And then I want you to see if you can notice the movement of the spine and the pelvis on this inhale. So just notice if you can feel as you breathe in, sending the breath all the way down into the belly. It might be that you feel the pelvis gently tilt forward, and as you draw the breath up into the midsection, you might feel a back bend, a very gentle lift in the lumbar. And then as you exhale, that reduces. So continue to feel this movement, and I kind of describe it as a wave. So as you breathe in, this wave of movement moves the abdominal space, the pelvis, the midsection of the ribs, and that lower lumbar lifting up. And as you exhale, the wave reduces. Now there might be one part of the body that you feel this in more than others, and you might prefer to stay working in that area, or we could deepen this by drawing the inhale all the way down into the belly, further up through the midsection, and then maybe up into the upper body, the chest. Okay, so just notice if that's available to you. You breathe in, feeling the abdominal space expand. Keep drawing the breath in, expanding at the ribs, and then lifting the chest up at the top of the inhale. And then as you exhale, the belly reduces, the ribs fall back towards the floor, and the chest softens. So that wave of breath travels up the spine as you breathe in. And that wave-like movement reduces as you breathe out. And we'll continue to work with this wave-like movement throughout the class today. But just let go of any controlled breathing you may have now. And just bring the ankles and the feet together. Okay, I'll be doing this now on the mat as well, if you're not sure. So we've got our knees together, our feet and our shins. And we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. That's dropping both knees out in opposite directions and the soles of the feet come together. Now this is very early on in a class, so you might feel some tension in and around the inner groin and the outer hips. And for some, it might be comfortable to make two fists and just kind of like tuck the fists into the outer hips on either side. It can give a little bit of support when you first come into this posture, particularly at the beginning of a class. And then I want you to explore that breath again with the knees out in opposite direction, this Baddha Konasana. So as you breathe in, see if you can feel that lift in the spine, almost as if you're inducing a gentle back bend with the inhale as the wave travels up the spine. And then as you exhale, the front body softens. Take 2 more deep breaths, filling the front body and noticing the movement of the pelvis and the spine. And then turn the palms down if they're flat on the floor and bring the knees back together. On your exhale, I want you to draw into the chest your right knee and thigh. Flex at the ankle on that right foot and send that right foot all the way up to the ceiling. So you're going to start to open up the back of the leg. And then extend the leg towards the floor as if the heel is going to touch down. Just before it touches down, bend the knee back in so that the thigh folds into the chest and you flex at the ankle. And then send the sole of the foot all the way up. And lower down again. One more time, so we're doing 3 slow, purposeful cycling actions to start to warm the back of the legs and the hamstrings. And then on that 3rd time, just allow that right leg to rest down on the floor completely. So the thigh rolls out to the side, the foot relaxes, and turn the palms face up. But you've kept that left knee bent with the sole of the foot on the floor. Take a breath in all the way down into the belly again and feel the movement of the spine lift up with that wave of breath on the inhale, and then as you exhale, allow the back body to soften. Turn the palms face down, and you're going to bend up that right foot so it comes back on the floor by the side of the left. The feet are about hip width apart here. And we're going to go to the left side. So as you exhale, draw in that left thigh. Palms are face down by the side of the body. You can draw the toes back and then send the sole of the foot up to the ceiling, opening up the back of the leg. Good, well done. And then send the heel all the way down towards the floor. Before it touches, point the toe, bend the knee in, and that thigh comes back into the chest. 2 more times, okay? Nice, slow, purposeful cycling actions, opening up the back of the leg, the knee, and the hamstrings there. And when you're ready to lay that leg down on that 3rd time, that left leg touches the floor, you allow it to fully relax with the thigh drifting out to the side. Turn the palms face up. And then take that breath all the way down into the belly again, breathing in and sending the breath up the chest. And then as you breathe out, feel the spine reduce towards the mat. And just now then send that right leg alongside the left so you come into Shavasana. Both legs are long, the arms are down by the side, palms face up. Take a breath in and out. Now we're going to need our belt, okay? So I'm hoping you're not going to have to disturb yourself too much, and you're going to reach over to your belt. One's just behind me. So you've got your belt, hopefully, and you're going to draw in your right knee, okay? The left leg is going to be long on the floor unless you feel like you need that support, okay? If you prefer to, you can work with that left foot on the floor with the knee bent, okay? It's a deeper stretch if we keep the leg long, okay? You're going to bring the belt around the ball of the right foot, okay? And then send the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. And slide the hands down the scarf or the belt so that the elbows can rest on the floor. Now you can think about that leg that we've left on the floor, okay? If it's not bent, okay, keep the leg nice and straight, draw the toes back and see if you can roll onto the very centre of the back of that heel. That's the left leg that's on the floor. So we've got a dynamic 2-way stretch here, okay? So a little bit stronger. And again, you're working in those 2 directions. If the knee is bent, you're offering the sole of the foot, stretching it up to the ceiling. If the knee is straight, you're encouraging the leg towards the wall behind you, opening up the back of the leg. We're going to take this right leg out to the side. So the belt goes into the same arm as leg, so into the right hand. The left hand comes and rests somewhere down on the left hip or the thigh. It's almost to pin that side of the body down. You don't want that side of the body to lift off. We're going to take this right leg up and out to the side. Okay, so it's a deep, long stretch out. But don't roll over, okay, only go to your measure, okay? Taking it out, but making sure you can still feel this side of the body pinned down, okay? That's your reminder, that hand. So you feel the back of the pelvis nice and flat on the floor. Good, well done. Try and relax the shoulders back so you can still feel those shoulder blades into the floor. Well done. Take a big breath in to bring that leg all the way back up again. We're going to swap the belt into the other hand, okay? So the belt comes into the left hand. And now the right hand can rest down by the side of the body, palm face down. This right leg is going to come across the body. Now it only goes a small way, okay? We're still keeping the back of the pelvis on the floor, and you might be able to feel this lengthening down the outside of that right hip. Maybe you feel it somewhere different. I feel it quite strong in that outer hip. Don't forget about that leg that's on the floor. You're still trying to keep that heel centered and those toes drawn back. So the leg is coming across the body. Breathe in and lift the leg back up again. And then you're going to release that foot. Just put the belt to one side. Slide that right leg away so both legs are outstretched. Palms face up. Relax the body. And then think about that wave of breath. As you breathe in, send the breath all the way down into the belly. And keep drawing that breath up through the side ribs to the upper chest. And then as you breathe out, feel that wave of breath reduce. 2 more breaths. Okay, and when you finish those 3 breaths, and don't rush to keep up with my instruction, but we are going to go to the left side. So you need to reach over for your belt. Okay, if you're working with a bent leg to give a bit more support, then you're going to bend up that right knee and have the sole of the right foot on the floor. Otherwise, keep it long. Folding in your left leg, drawing the toes back, and taking the belt around the ball of the foot. Okay. Keeping that thigh drawn in and then slowly extending that left leg up towards the ceiling and sliding the hands down the sides of the belt. When those elbows are connected to the floor and the shoulders are nice and relaxed, think about that outstretched leg, okay? Start to work that right leg that's on the floor. Draw the toes back and be on the very center of the heel. And then you're working to open up the back of the leg here, okay? So you're drawing the leg towards the body or the sole of the foot towards the ceiling to your measure. Well done. And then we take this leg out to the side. So 2 sides of the belt go into the left hand, same arm as leg. Your free right hand will rest on the thigh or the hip on that right side. So that's just to remind you to keep that side of the body pinned down. As you exhale, allow your left leg to come out to the side. Well done. Okay, your big breath in is going to lift that limb all the way back up again. And then you're going to swap hands, okay? So you take the 2 tails of the belt in the right hand, the left hand comes down by the side of the body, palm face down, okay? Keep pinning those shoulder blades into the floor as you take that left leg across the body. If you can't feel it here, lift the leg up a little bit higher, okay? It's only a small movement because we're not rolling on to that right side, okay? We're trying to keep the back of the pelvis firmly down and we're really getting into that muscle and that outer hip on the outside of that left leg. Don't forget about that outstretched leg that we've left on the floor. Keep drawing the toes back, feeling centered on that heel. Well done. Then bring that leg back up to center. Release the foot. Put the belt to one side. Stretch out that left leg. So both legs are long. We're in that Shavasana position. Just relax the body. And see if you can take that breath all the way down into the belly. And then lift the inhale up through the front body. Noticing the effect on the spine as you do so. 3 breaths. Okay, well done. We're going to turn the palms face down and just bend those knees up so the soles of the feet are on the floor first of all. Okay, we're just using this as a transition in order for us to then bring our knees into our chest, okay? So now bring the right knee in nice and slowly. Bring the right hand around the front of that right shin, followed by the left thigh coming into that Konasana. And just gently rock from side to side here, just as if you're giving the lower back a massage. Well done. And we're going to roll all the way over to the right, and nice and slowly we're going to make our way up to a high kneel position, okay? So we finish with the belt for the moment, but you might need some support under the knees. So you can see I've got a blanket here today. That's because I do like quite a bit of support for my knees. And you're going to come up onto a high kneel. And when we go into this high kneel, we're going to extend out the right leg. Okay. Now, this can be quite intense for some people. Okay, so you can work with the knee bent. Okay, and it might be that you have to bring that leg right in. Okay, so Barbara, just be careful and just do what's available to you there with that hip. Also, another part of the body that you might feel uncomfortable here is the back of the ankle. Okay, so for you, it might be a bit better to just have the toes slightly brought forward, or you might even prefer to work with the toes drawn back. Okay, so just alter this posture that makes you feel nice and comfortable. Okay, draw in the belly, and we're going to breathe in and send the arms out nice and wide. Now this is that moment when we're not just holding our arms here, we are lengthening the arms in opposite directions. And when we turn the palms face up, we're not just rotating at the wrists, we are taking that rotation all the way up the arms. So we're rotating up into the shoulders. Once you're there, then relax the shoulders and broaden. Well done. We're going to gently lower that right arm, breathe in to lift up that left arm. And then when we breathe out, we're going to arch over on that lateral stretch. This is sliding the arm down. And then we're going to come up on the inhale. Nice and wide and broad. Good. 2 more times. Relax the arm down. Breathe in. Lengthen up. And exhale to sink over. Feel that stretch coming all the way from that top hip. Good. And coming up. Well done. 1 more time. Rest that arm down. Breathe in. Lengthen up. And then exhale, keep that length going. Well done. And coming up, arms nice and wide. Now we're going to come into a tabletop here, so be careful, but you're going to come down with the hands in front of you. Bring in that back leg, okay? So you're on all fours. And we're going to work 3 cat poses. So just first of all, allow that spine to find its neutral alignment. The breath is going to lead the movement. We take a breath in, and as we breathe out, start to lift the spine up. Okay, just being aware of the thoracic spine, the mid-spine lifting first of all. And as you breathe in, the front body lengthens, the sit bone lifts. And the head just follows the movement of the spine. And just be careful that you don't crash into the lumbar spine there, okay? Again, as you exhale, draw the belly to the back of the waist. Broadening in between the shoulder blades. Maybe feeling that stretch further, traveling up and down the spine, back of the waist. Your inhale lengthens the front body. Relaxes the spine down. 1 more time. And then when you finish 3, just let that spine find its neutral place once more. Walk the hands towards the body, and you're going to come back up onto that high kneel, and you're going to prepare for the other side. So you're going to take the leg out onto the left side. And just find that comfortable position. Breathe in, bring the arms out and broaden, draw in the belly. Turn the palms face up and relax the shoulders down. Good, well done. You're going to rest that left arm down, breathe in, raise the right, and as you breathe out, feel the side body begin to open and come on up. Use the inhale. Good, draw the belly in. Rest the arm down, breathe in, stretch up. Exhale, sinking down. And come up. Brilliant, well done. One more time, resting down, breathe in to come up. And slide the back of that left arm down the front of that leg. Good. And coming up. Fabulous. Okay, we're going to come to that cat pose again. So soften that knee, that'll help you come onto the tabletop position. Bring that leg in and do 3 more of those cat poses, okay? I'm just coming up so that I can see you. For those of you that have got your video on, well done. So think about that breath moving the spine like a wave. Think about your elbows as well. Just soften up through the elbows. Jill, just keep a soft bend in your elbows so you're not relying on those joints to lock out and support. Yeah, have a micro bend there. That will just release that tension that can build up in the joints. Well done, everybody. When you've finished those 3, just finish with a neutral spine. And then again, walk the hands towards the body and come up onto that high kneel. That's just so that you can see me really, because we're going to turn onto the length of the mat. Some of you might be already there. And we're going to come into this position. Now, this was where I suggested that some of you might need a chair, okay, which would be placed here in front of you. I'll just demonstrate why, is because we'll be coming down into this low lunge. And actually, quite often, I use a bit of support underneath the hands here. Otherwise, we're working with our balance as well. So sometimes having a chair here in front of you might also work for you. Okay, so if you feel you might benefit from getting some support, you could go and do so now. Also, make sure that you've got some protection for the knee, okay, because it's quite a lot of pressure on the knee, but then we can distribute that weight, thinking about the top of the back foot and the shin firmly placed on the floor. Okay, so we've made our way into this position, okay? Now, when we lunge down, okay, we're going to take the weight forward, but just notice that this knee is not going to overshoot the foot. If anything, it's going to be in line with the ankle, okay? So just notice where that foot goes, because it might need a bit of support. If the hands come down to the floor and reach, all well and good, okay? If not, bring the hands up here. It can be a little bit trickier, okay? Or have your support there. So here we're opening up the groin. And then we're going to take the weight back. So this is that hamstring stretch. So take the weight back, lift the toes off, okay? This is going to challenge your balance, okay? So make sure that you power down into the top of the back foot. Now, if you can't feel anything here down the back of that leg, I want you to take the weight forward. If your hands reach the floor, all well and good, okay? You've got that extra bit of stability there, okay? But it might be that you just have to bring the weight forward and you'll feel the stretch coming up the back of the leg here. So just see what that's like for you. Keep drawing the toes back, that will intensify the stretch. Now to come forward, okay, think about the foot. You're going to lead with the ball of the foot, opening up the sole, and then you're going to bend forward again, coming into that deep lunge.
Okay, to your measure, okay? So your lunge may look very different, all right? Your priority is don't let this knee overshoot the foot, okay? Well done. Keep sinking down in the groin. And then we'll walk back, the weight back to get that hamstring stretch involved. The more you lower the front body down, the more intense this stretch is. So you're kind of your own taskmaster here. It can be as intense as you like. One more time, coming forward. So making the most of opening up the sole of the foot, leading with the ball of the foot, then the toes, then the knee, then the hips and groin. Well done. Now you can either stay here, or you might be able to bring the hands up, resting on the knee. So we're not weight bearing down on this knee, okay? There's a sense of lift in the upper body here. It actually switches on this back thigh as well. And it could be that you might be able to breathe in and bring the arms up above the head. So crescent moon. You take the eye gaze just up and imagine that you've got that crown lifted above your head. So this is a strong dynamic pose. And then to come out of this, extend the front body forward as if you're lengthening that spine forward. And then bring the hands to where they reach for you. We're going to come out of it into child's pose, okay? So let's just see what we've got available. Going to bring that leg behind you in your own way and give it a shake. So you're just relaxing the hip. Good. Wonderful. Rest the knee down. Bring the feet together. We're going to come into your version of child's pose. And when you're in child's pose, just begin to think about that breath again. Okay, as you breathe in, there's no room in the front body there. This time, the breath into the back body. Okay, well done everybody. Okay, we're going to come back up again. Send the hands beyond the head, fingers nice and wide. Breathe in to come up onto all fours, and then nice and slowly we're going to prepare for the other side. So bringing the other leg forward. So remember, to help support this, power down into that back leg, shin and foot. Okay, so we're going to the lunge first of all, see what we have. Okay, I'm going to begin to bend that front knee so the hips, groin sink down. Well done. And then we can take the weight back, okay? So start to shift the weight back, lift the toes off, and just bring the front body forward. Depending on where you can reach will depend where you have your hands, okay? Okay, we'll go again. Think about the foot, opening up the sole of that front foot, leading with the ball of the foot, then the toes, then the knee. Start to sink down in the groin. Good. Well done. And then again, we'll walk back. Send the weight back. Lift the toes off and lower the front body down to your measure. Notice where you feel this. One more time going forward. Lead with the sole of the foot, the ball of the foot, then the toes. Shin, knee, hips and groin. Good. Take the weight out of that back knee by powering down into the top of the foot in that back leg. Now see what you have here once again. You might be happy to stay working here, or you might be able to bring the hands up, resting on the knee. Okay, so we're not weight bearing down into that knee, we're just resting the hands there. If you're comfortable here and you want to go further, take a breath in and lift the arms up nice and strong above the head. Keep sinking down into the groin. Use the parts of the body that are in contact with the floor to stabilize you. That crown is lifted above your head. Well done. And then we reach forward to come out of this. You've got your arms up, send the arms forward with the body. And then bringing that front leg back best you can. So you come, shaking that leg out behind you just to release the hip on that side. Good. And then once more we will rest in child's pose, your version. Okay, we're going to make our way up to standing, but we're going to do this through dog pose, okay, in the same way that we've been working with those bent legs first of all, okay. So you slide your hands out, make the most of lengthening the spine. Breathe in to come up onto all fours. Bring your hands in a little bit closer if that feels right for you. Spread your fingers super wide and push down into the whole of the hand. Tuck the toes under. Okay, so you start to work the soles of the feet and the balls of the feet. Going to take the weight back, lift the knees off, come through this phase, okay, this lovely long spine, broaden in between the shoulder blades here. And then begin to lift the sit bones up. Pedal the heels down one at a time, start to ease out tension in the back of the legs. And then hold your dog pose for a few breaths. And we're going to make our way up to standing. So you can walk your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands until you feel all the weight into the soles of the feet. Hold the elbows, relax the head, soften the knees. So you're in a forward fold here, but it's nice and relaxed, and you can gently swing from side to side, just from the hips really, upper body. Come to a still point, relax the head and neck, release the hands towards the floor, drop the sit bones, bending the knees. You're going to bring the arms out to the side, breathe in, wide arms, and they'll bring you all the way up. The palms meet above the head, and exhale down the center line. Rest the arms down by the side and just let everything soften and settle for a moment in your upright position. Well done. Just release the effort in the body. Okay, we're going to come to some standing postures. So we're going to move anything that we've got on our mat out the way. And come into mountain pose. So, rooting our awareness firmly into the soles of the feet. Just explore what that means to you. Relax the shoulders, let the arms hang. Soft, hazy gaze.
Okay, we're going to take the legs nice and wide and work Trikonasana, triangle pose. Okay, that's the straight-legged standing posture. Okay, so starting with the toes facing forward, just rest the hands on the hips just to allow those shoulders to relax. Well done, everybody. Okay, we're going to turn out those right toes and we're going to swing out that back heel or have those front toes facing forward or in. Okay, now remember, I'm talking about a lot about bringing this leg into the right position for you for the tracking of the knee, shin and foot. So it might be that you bring the foot forward. Okay, bring the hips back to center, really firm up into the thighs, breathe in and widen those arms. Again, as if you are lengthening the arms away. Wonderful, well done. So here we are being led over to the right, okay? The hips can swing out to the left a fraction and we rotate this thigh back, okay? Keep leaning over till you can't reach anymore. And then bring the hand to where is comfortable for you. Bring the back hand in for a moment. That'll just give you that chance to open up a real lateral stretch here. Then breathe in. If it's available to you, you're going to bring that back arm up. So you've got this dynamic two-way stretch with the arms, just as we did at the start of this posture. Well done. I'm not going to hold it for too long here. Imagine someone's lifting you up from that top arm. Use your inhale to come all the way up. Arms wide, good, well done. Turn those right toes forward. If you can keep the arms just where they are for the moment, do so. If you need a break, rest the arms down. I'm going to go straight to the other side. Okay, so we're turning out the left toes. Thinking about the back leg, okay, have those toes facing forward or slightly turned out. Forward or turned in, beg your pardon, the heel is turned out. Bring the hips back to center, spread the arms wide. We go to the other side. So it's almost as if I've come into your room, I've got your hand and I'm pulling it over. I'm rotating that left thigh back. I can't reach anymore. I'm going to lower the arm down. I'm going to bring the back hand in just so that I can spend a moment to open up on this side. Breathe in and lift the arm up. Well done. Firm through the inside edges of your feet here. That'll help support the ankles. Imagine that top round, someone's going to lift you up, lift you all the way up. And open up, good. Turn those left toes forward. Bring the hands behind you. Clasp the fingers together. Send those hands beyond the buttocks. The heels of the hands are together, remember, as well. Opening up through the chest and extend forward. Lengthening the spine forward. And then continue its journey. So the crown of the head is going to come towards the floor. You can soften the knees as much as you need to, okay, to allow the upper body, the spine to hang down. You can lift the hands away from the back of the waist to help this too. Constantly encouraging the crown of the head to release towards the floor. Relax the back of the neck. Lower the hands towards the back of the waist. Extend the spine forward. Breathe in to come all the way up. Well done. Release the hands. And just bring those legs back together again. Give them a shake. And just come back into mountain pose. Okay, we're going to work on a balance now, and this will be to your measure. I'm just going to demonstrate for you. First of all, I'm going to turn to the side. Okay, we're going to just take a step back, okay, but we're going to come onto the ball of that foot, and then we'll breathe in to reach up. And the body's going to be a bit like a pendulum here. So when we lean forward, the foot's going to lift off. And it might be that we just balance here, okay? And we keep lowering and lifting, okay? Almost as if we're trying to keep in the same length. So we come into a T shape. And then we come up
before we fall over, ideally. Down and together. So again, might be handy to have that chair if you're feeling a bit wobbly, okay? You can rest on and leaning forward like so. All right, let's see what we have. You never know with the balance, do you? So we'll work through it together, okay? Just rest the hands on the hips first of all and just step back with that right foot, okay? So you're on the ball of the foot. It's almost that you've got that kind of balance going there, okay? And then see if you can just pitch forward a little bit more onto the ball of the foot. And you're going to breathe in and reach up with both arms. Okay, so this is your balance point. You've got your contact with the big toe at the moment, but just start to explore, okay, taking that foot off and bringing the front body forward. Take it easy. It doesn't really matter how far you go. There's a lot of work going on in that standing leg. Good trying, everybody. Well done. Tricky pose. Well done. Come out of it. Exhale, lowering the arms. Bringing that back leg forward. And you find yourself in mountain pose. Okay, just notice any sensation in the body from this. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. Just rest the hands on the hips and you're just going to send the other leg back. Okay, so just feel nice and stable. Okay, just a bit like a runner really, getting ready. And then maybe pitch a bit more onto the top of that big toe. Breathe in and get this lovely length in the body here. And then start to play with your balance. Well done. So fabulous for strengthening the ankle, the hip on that standing leg. Just notice if you are holding your breath. Well done. Excellent. Coming out the way you went in, lowering the arms down and just letting those body systems, the breath, the heart rate, temperature, just settle again. Okay, well done. Just release the effort in the body. I'm going to take one more nice loose forward bend, okay, nice and relaxed. Have the feet about hip width apart. Nice and stable. Feel relaxed in around this midsection here. And we're going to tap the chin in and as if we're allowing the forehead just to drift forward. And then we're going to continue with the upper body. We are curling the spine down, okay? And it's as if the arms, the hands are like a magnet being drawn to the floor. Bend the knees as much as you need to. So this is like a rag doll. So we come into a forward fold, just like a rag doll, and just swing and sway, releasing as much as we can in that lower lumbar. And then from here we're going to come all the way down onto the floor. So I'm going to ask you to do that in your own way.
But it might be that you can bring the hands all the way down and just lower yourself down. But it doesn't matter how you get down, okay? We're just coming down onto the mat. And we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, the same pose as we started at the beginning. So with this, but we're going to be sitting up. So just see what you have. Bring the soles of the feet together. And just bring the hands somewhere down on the shins. You can bring these heels in as close as is comfortable for you, and it can really depend. Sometimes when you bring them in close, okay, it'll give you a little bit of kind of room to be able to open up the knees. Okay, so just see what you have. Okay, find that position for you. Also, this is quite tricky because you've got a self-supporting spine going on, so just see what that means for you. But you're encouraging both knees out in opposite direction, and it's almost as if you can open up the soles of the feet as well, just as if you were opening up a book. Well done. And then bring those knees back up. You're going to take your right hand and just put it behind you. Okay, you can lean on that right hand now, okay? Left hand, think about your index finger and your middle finger, and you're going to just see if you can loop it round the inside of your big toe there. And you see I've put it in between the big toe and the next toe. You're leaning on the back of that hand, okay, so you can't fall back. Just make sure if you did though that you're not going to hit any furniture. Okay, you're going to just lift off that heel. Okay, out to the side. Now it might be that you can open up the back of the leg, or it might be that you want to keep it bent, okay? It doesn't matter, you've got your hand behind you, you can lean back on that, just open up. Well done. And then fold that leg back in again. Going to swap sides, so bringing that other hand round, so you've got your fingers into the middle of the the big toe, and you've got this hand coming behind you. You can lean on that hand as much as you need to. And then you're just going to find that balance where you can lift that heel off and just start to open out. Open it out to the side, okay? It's going to be easier for you to open it out to the side as opposed to forward. I'm pushing my big toe into the fingers as opposed to pulling the big toe back. Keep hold of your toe that way. Well done. And bring that leg back in again. Now one more, we can give it a try. It's a balance, okay? We'll see what we have. Just make sure you've got nothing behind you that if you roll back, you're going to knock yourself on anything. Both fingers this time around in between those big toes. You're going to balance on the sit bones, okay? So you're going to find that position where you can balance. You draw in the belly and you find that balancing point. Well done. Now you're balanced here. You can either stay balanced or you can open up one leg in this balanced position, just as you did before. Definitely the tendency to roll back. Well done. You can try the other side. Okay, so we stop at your measure, remember. Good. And then if you wanted to, you could try both legs at the same time. Shall we give it a go? Well done. Fabulous. And rest those heels back down again. Well done, everybody. Bring those knees back together. Good. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see. You guys stay where you are. You put your knees back together. Just bring the hands underneath them. Okay, so you're hugging your thighs in towards the chest here. Then just lift the heels off, keeping that connection with the rib cage and the thighs. Okay, just slide the heels away.
Okay, so you're going to come into a forward bend. You might need to move the sit bones back. But you only go as far as you keep this connection with the rib cage and the thighs. Okay? So this gets this lovely length from right down in this lower lumbar instead of the curve coming from this midsection. Okay? So just keep pushing the heels away and just relax the head and neck when you come to your measure. Think about the breath as a wave, this time travelling down the back of the body. You might even be able to use that breath down the spine, down into the back of the legs, the hamstrings, where you're feeling this maybe. Well done. Take a breath in and release the arms from the thighs to sit yourself up. Well done, everybody. We're working really hard. We're going to come down onto the floor, okay? So bend those knees in and we're going to come back down to how we started, okay? But as we come onto the back body, nice and slowly, just slowly draw one leg in, then the other, and rock from side to side. And we're coming to a final twist from here. So the soles of the feet come back down onto the floor. But keep the knees, the ankles and the sides of the feet together, and the arms will come out to about shoulder height, palms face up. And when you're here, just allow that spine with the breath to find its neutral, comfortable alignment. Now, on your exhale, you're going to allow both knees to drift over to the right. So nice and slowly. Again, thinking about the breath as you bring those legs over. It'll take a while to allow the body to soften. Use the breath to help release any areas that you feel are locked or activated. Just encourage that release and softness. Just notice the breath all the way down into the belly and then lifting that inhale, travelling up the front body, moving the spine in that wave-like motion. Then when you next inhale, bring the knees back up to centre. Well done. Taking those knees over to the other side. So when you're ready, slowly, slowly exhale. Let both those knees fall to the other side. And again, it's that exploration on the response of the body and doing all you can to encourage softness and release. And it's our breath that is the key. When you're ready, breathe in, bring those
those knees back up to centre. Now you can either stretch your legs out one at a time, coming into Shavasana, or you can separate those feet and just rest those knees against each other. Bring the arms closer in. Close the eyes and focus once more on your breath. And allow your focus to be on that unity of the breath and the movement of the body. So the influence of the breath on the spine and the pelvis, and that wave-like movement of the breath filling the body on the inhale, and then allowing that wave to recede, to reduce back on the exhale. Now let go of any controlled breathing that you may be practicing. Just allow the breath to find its soft, smooth inhale and soft, smooth exhale. Visualize yourself lying on your mat in your home. And be aware of the connection points of your body and the floor. Just brush your thumb pad over each fingertip and notice how this feels. And in your own time, just bring yourself over onto the right side of the body and just rest for a few breaths in that fetal position, supporting your head. Keep the eye gaze soft or the eyes closed. And in your own time, when you're ready, make your way to a seated position. So sitting with a nice tall spine and relaxed shoulders. Bring your hands to your heart centre. And bow your head in honour of your practice today. Namaste.